Hey guys, Break here, and today we're going to be talking about a potential way you can make a lot of gold over the next few days because of the raids coming out next week and a very short-term investment that you can do. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mythic Plus and raids are coming out next week, and then the Mythic raid is coming the week after. So in the next 7 to 14 days there is going to be a huge opportunity for making quite a lot of gold. So probably anything you can think of that could be used for raiding or Mythic Plus will likely go up in price as the demand skyrockets. But in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 major things that a lot of people seem to be focusing on, and we're going to be talking about these 3 things and how you maybe can make a lot of gold investing in these now and then selling them in a week or two's time when the prices likely will go up. So the first thing we are going to be talking about is anchorweed, which is a rare herb that people get with herbalism, and it is kind of the main thing because it's used in all of the major flasks. And obviously people will be using these flasks in Mythic Plus and definitely in raids, and people think that anchorweed is going to go crazy up in price. In fact, it's been the major thing that people have been investing in. All we have to do is look in trade chat and there's so many people already just buying anchorweed, want to buy anchorweed, 500 gold. They were trying to buy it for 400 gold just a few hours ago. They were trying to buy it for 300 gold yesterday. The price has skyrocketed the past few days and it will likely continue to do so. Now, a lot of people are going to be thinking that this is going to be similar to Starlight Rose, which was the herb in Legion, which was used for the flasks. And as you can see at the very start of Legion, it was kind of hanging around the kind of 100 gold, 90 gold region price average. And then when the raids come out, it shot up to over 200 gold region price average for a few weeks and then went back down again. But for those first weeks when the raid came out, it doubled in price, and people probably are thinking the same thing is going to be happening here. Now, if we have a look at anchorweed, the region price around a week ago was about 300 gold, and it's been slowly going up and up since then, and it's now over 400 gold. So it has gone up by about a third, but it definitely hasn't doubled yet. So if something similar is going to happen, then potentially you can start buying these out if they're fairly cheap on your server. And in a week or two's time, when the prices skyrocket, especially the first day of the raid, the day before the raid, and in the weeks leading up to the Mythic raid, that's going to be really, really good. Or the days leading up to the Mythic raid, I should say, because it comes out a week later. So it certainly could be a good option. Do I think it's going to go as crazy as some people think? No, probably not. I don't think it's going to be quite as crazy as Starlight Rose, because a lot of people have been counting on this trend. There's so many people on my server wanting to buy this stuff. There's so many people with a big stockpile. So do I think it will triple in price? No, probably not. But do I think you can make some nice gold if you can buy this now at a fairly good price? Then yes. And what do I mean by fairly good price? Well, for example, on my server, the price has doubled in a week. It was 330 gold. It's now 700 gold. So in a week it has doubled. A lot of people were way quicker than me to the party, and I've kind of missed out. I wouldn't invest now unless I can get it cheaper in trade chat. But for a lot of servers, as we can see, the region average has not gone up that much in a week. So if you're on a server where people haven't been doing this, or you're on a server where the price is still fairly alright, then you want to get in there early, start buying this stuff up. You know, always just try and buy in bulk from someone, try and bargain a little bit, get down their price, and you can make some nice gold when the raids come out. Okay, so the second thing we're going to be talking about, and the second thing which could make you some serious gold, is the Midnight Salmon. Now, this is a fish that's used for the major feast this expansion. So every serious raid group is going to be having a load of these feasts. They're going to be buying them up before their raid. They're going to be giving them out to their raid members because they want everyone to get 100 of their major stat. Now again, if we look at the price over the past week, Midnight Salmon region average was 240 gold, and it is now 390 gold. So it hasn't quite gone up double, but it likely will do, and it's going to keep going up in price. So as long as you buy these out at a pretty good price on your server, then you're going to be bound to make some nice gold in a few days' time. Again, would I do this on my server? Probably not, because again, it's spiked massively on my server. A week ago, my server was 200 gold. It is now 500 gold. It's almost tripled on my server, and it's way higher now on my server than it is the region average. So have I missed the boat? Potentially. It was a lot even higher, look, 845 gold a few days ago, so it could be worse, I suppose. And I probably will try and buy up a few of these, but again, I do have to be careful and don't end up overpaying for these, because you never know what's going to happen. As with any investment, guys, it's always a risk, particularly a short-term investment like this. It's always very risky. No one really knows what will happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But always bear in mind, guys, you can do the pretty stacking method for stuff like this as well. For example, I could go on my server and buy out all the stacks of 1 and 2 and 3, and then I could sell them in stacks of 20 for a lot more. Particularly if I wait till the raids come out and start selling them in stacks of 20 or whatever, they're going to be going for a lot more than the stacks of 1 and 2, and people are still going to be buying them because people are lazy, and that's how it works. We've talked about that in lots of videos before, and that's probably going to be the same case here. So don't just look at under my journal, actually go on your auction house and see what the real prices are, see what the price is for the stack of 20, see what the price is for the stack of 1, and actually base your price on the stack of 20, because that's what you're going to be selling in. You're not going to be selling in random stack sizes that don't go for as much. Now, a lot of people will say that actually guilds always have their own feasts. They don't go buying them from the auction house or whatever. And that's true, but we're just investing in the salmon here. You can invest in the feast as well, maybe, but it's probably a lot easier just to invest in the salmon. So if you guys can get salmon at the right price, people are going to buy it. Even the cooks, the chefs of the guild are going to buy it to make the feast for the guild. So that's all going to be good. And the final thing we are going to be talking about is Battle Scarred Augment Rune. Look, again, on my server, so many people trying to buy these up. In fact, look, they're trying to buy up the 3 that I'm talking about right here. Anchoweed, Augment Rune, and Midnight Salmon. And they're going to probably just wait until the raid comes out and sell all these. So if you do want to make a macro kind of like this, guys, it will work. Again, on my server, it's one of the most populated servers there is, and it's got one of the biggest economies there is. So it's going to be a lot harder for me, but for you guys, it will be more likely. And even if not, even if there is competition, you're still going to get some people wanting to sell to you, so that's all good. Anyway, the augment rooms are very hard to get. There's no easy way to kind of farm them, so there is a limited supply, and that makes them a great thing to invest in. Now, if we go back to the Undermined Journal and look at some more fun graphs, here are the defiled augment runes from Legion. And as you see, when the prices kind of stabilized in the first week of the expansion, they were at 150 gold region average, and then give it a few weeks when the raids come out, and suddenly they go to sort of 500 gold, and the defiled augment runes are all at like 500, 400 gold. So they quadrupled in price, or at least tripled in price, which was really, really good. And people are thinking a similar thing could happen here. And to be honest, if I was to say the safest investment on this list, it would probably be the augment rune, just because, you know, they're a limited supply. You can't go out and farm them. There's not going to be someone with thousands of them, because that's just not possible unless they went and bought up the whole auction house and are holding on. It's a lot more likely that there's going to be a competitor on your server with thousands of anchoweed or even thousands of salmon, but there's very unlikely to be someone with loads and loads of augment runes. So if you're on a small or even medium server, you can kind of control the whole market of augment runes. You could buy them all up, you could hold on to them for a week and buy them whenever they're cheap, and you could sell them in stacks of 5, stacks of 10, stacks of 20 in a few days time, and you could probably make an absolute killing. You could easily double your gold, if not triple your gold, and that's going to be something that I reckon would be a good shout. And I definitely think the augment runes are going to be a great investment. Like I say, out of anything on this list, augment runes probably the best investment right now, because the price hasn't actually gone up that much so far. And if you're smart with it, and if you buy them for cheap, you're likely going to make a lot of gold when you sell them in a few days' time. But there we go, guys. Those are my 3 major investments, which I think could make you a lot of gold in the next few days and weeks. Again, always be ready. So be ready on the day before the raid day, so in like 6 days' time. And then be ready, obviously, the day of the raid day and the next day. Those are going to be 3 major days. And then also a few days later, when mythic raids come out, be ready just before then as well. Because especially for stuff like augment runes and for stuff like, maybe not feast, but for stuff like the flasks that are very expensive, only the kind of major guilds are going to be going for those, and for the mythic race and all that. So it's a lot more likely you'll get some sales before the mythic raid than just before the normal, when everyone's a lot more chill. but the sales are going to be great both times. And don't forget about Mythic Plus. There's a lot of things that you can use in Mythic Plus, guys, that I haven't mentioned here, but a lot of those are also probably going to be going up in price. So if you're smart with it, you can make a lot of gold in the next few days. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you're investing in and if you've got any more tips for us. And until next time, see ya.